Bez, bloody hot out there, hard session.
Yeah, it was a bit grueling, but that's what you get when you're up in Brisbane, and we love it. We find we get a lot out of those sessions because you're looking at your mates in the eye and it's pretty tough. So I think we took a step forward today.
You've had 5 or 6 pre-seasons up here. That standing on the side, it was about as hot as we can remember. How did it feel out in the middle?
Yeah, it was. It's sort of like an oven because of the storm last night. The water comes out of the ground as well as the sun. So it's pretty challenging. I reckon the hottest one though was when Fishy were putting us to the sword around the back oval. So it hasn't quite topped that.
There's quite a few Bendigo boys and country Victorians out there. How are the younger boys struggling in this sort of summer heat?
Yeah, I got young fella Sharpie living with me, so he's an elite runner as it is, so I think he's going all right. But I'm sure it's a bit of a rude shock. When I moved up here, I was like, this place is crazy, but like Fish said, a couple of pre-seasons in, you start to get used to it and start to enjoy it.
Is there anybody like whinging out there? Do you have you can't mention the word hot or?
Nah, not so much that stuff. It's sort of, I guess, the language we want to use is always positive, and it's something we spoke about a couple of weeks ago. We want to, I guess, not complain about things, and whatever happens to us or adversity we face, we move on and go forward. So yeah, that's something we spoke about in our not so much leadership camp, but camp that we have, and the boys were really good today. It was all positive. We sort of changed, I guess, our mindset, and like I said, we went forward today.
Is that positive mindset something that's been useful for you? I mean, your last 12, 18 months has been pretty rough in terms of, I don't know, it feels like every couple of weeks you had a different injury in a different area, and you had to overcome that all of last season?
Yeah, certainly. I think, I guess I have good grounding people behind me, and the positive mindset they always preached. So it was good for me that through those tough periods, which aren't actually that tough, they're sort of, not actually that tough in terms of putting things into perspective. I just got an injury as a footballer, and that's something that comes with work, and you just got to work through it. And I really had those guys that I guess had a really good sounding board for me, and I was able to go forward with my life and go forward and make improvements elsewhere in my life, work on other aspects of my football, and really looking forward to this season coming up, and hopefully showing what I built over that last 18-12 months, like you said. Hopefully it comes into fruition in the next 12.
One of the things you mentioned last year was that you were training to run a little bit differently, so because of all the lower body injuries you were getting, that they might have all been sort of related. And is that something you're still doing? Is that something that you're still working on? Yeah,
a little bit. Not so much biomechanics, it's more the breathing side of it and stuff. We've had Rachel coming into the club, and she's really been beneficial for me, especially in terms of my breathing and being able to recover quicker, so then repeat efforts and stuff like that a little bit more. And then I guess on top of that, actually training with Mark Stone a little bit closer, and we've been focusing on just the same thing. I guess in the scrimmage and stoppage, being able to have a few efforts and explode out. So I think when I was speaking about the training different, it was more being pointy with my craft and what I'm good at. So I've been able to focus on that with my craft in the club, and hopefully, like I said, it shows in the next season coming up.
What do you feel you can add, Bez? Because you've been in and out of the team because of your body and your injuries. I'm sure you would have watched in your time off and thought, I can add to this mix. Like, what can you bring on a full-time basis this year?
Yeah, I think the biggest one for me is my hunt, and being able to, I guess, do that in an offensive way and also defensive. So that's, I guess, my strength, and I'm looking forward to bringing that. That's what I've been training. I've been really honing in on that this pre-season and trying to make my weapon. So look forward to that.
Not everybody seems to have a positive mindset when they're repeatedly being injured as an athlete. How are you staying positive?
Yeah, I guess I learned a lesson pretty early on in my career that I faced a fair adversity, and our, I guess, family thing was that we needed to take a positive out of a negative, and I guess it's held me in the stead I am today in terms of that. So if I face adversity or whatever, it's sort of never really the end of the world, the be all and end all. It's something that happens to you, and you have a choice whether you take it one way and go down the positive route, or you go down the other way and into a negative route. And why live your life negatively? May as well be positive.
You're still probably like 3 or 4 weeks away from playing, but from the bits of game footage we've seen, there's like a lot of guys going through that midfield. Do you feel like the intensity's starting to ramp up in that hunger for spots, I guess, to prove that you deserve a spot?
Yeah, definitely. There's always been good competition in our midfield, no doubt about that. We've especially this pre-season, there's a lot of guys rolling through, and there's a lot of guys actually that are playing in the yellow side that are pushing to get in there. So yeah, there's always competition for spots, and that only makes you better, I guess. You're knocking on the door of someone's spot, and they've got to improve, otherwise they get past.
Bez, I'll just ask you one about the heat. How does it make you feel when your coach is out there doing push-ups and sit-ups?
Yeah.
At his age alongside you?
Yeah. He got a bit red in the face after a few of those push-ups, but no, he's a credit to himself. He goes hard, and I get the message behind that is we're going to face adversity on the field, and we weren't expecting it, and you got to expect the unexpected and be ready for anything. So cool little message in that, but he does. How old is he now? Like 60 odd, and he's punched out 60 push-ups and 100 crunches, and he's a weapon.
He likes those little messages. Was it Ballarat that he
took the shirt off? Yeah. He's good with that stuff.
You've dominated the running in the team for a long time, and Huey's seems to have gone past. I know Sharpie's out the front by a mile, but Huey seems to have gone past you, and he's obviously your best mate. And what have you seen from him this pre-season that you think that he's been on the verge of All-Australian for a couple of years now? How good can he be, and what have you seen from him this year that this is going to be the year that he finally cracks that team?
Yes, sky's the limit for Huey. He's got all the talent in the world, and I guess he's built his work ethic over 6 pre-seasons now, and he's now one of the hardest workers I've seen at our club. So he'll get what comes to him, and I guess the All-Australians and all that individual honours is a byproduct of what he's doing now. And like you said, he's passed me in the running, so he's got me on those. I guess it's one of those things. We didn't actually run a 3K this year, so he hasn't officially passed me. I still got him on that.
You've been reminding you about that, I imagine.
But if we run it, he would have probably lapped me. The fella, he's going really well. But yeah, like I said, sky's the limit for Huey.